Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Stable. Mridanga. Somebody is playing Mridanga. Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihariya Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihariya Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhariya Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhariya Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanacharya Jamuna Tira Vanacharya Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihariya Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhariya Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanacharya Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihariya Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihariya Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jai Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajakacarya अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jaya mudiraye nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishriki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha Nanda Gopaha Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. This morning we are discussing from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, entitled Creation, Chapter 7, entitled The Son of Drona Punished. So take chapter 7, the son of Drona punished. This is text 56. We will recite text 56 for today. And we will take 57, 58 also into the discussion because they don't have purpose, and then they will complete the chapter. So text 56. Is it visible? Or we can change the orientation of that? Better. Okay. Vimuchya Rashanabadham Balahatya Hata Prabham Tejasa Manina Hinam Shibiran Nirayapayad Vimuchya Rashanabhaddam Balahatya Hata Prabham Tejasa manina hinam Shibram nirayapayad Shibiran nirayapayad Vimuchya Rashanabadham Balahatya Hata Prabham Tejasa manina hinam Shibran nirayapayad Shibiran nirayapayad Vimuchya Rashanabadham Balahatya Hata Prabham Tejasa manina hinam Shibiran nirayapayad. Please recite. तेजसा मणिनाहीनं विमुच्य रचनाबद्धं बालहत्या हतप्रभुं तेजसा मणिनाहीनं यान्निरयापयात् विमुच्य रचनाबद्धं बालहत्या हतप्रभुं तेजसा मणिनाहीनं शिबिरान्निरयापयात्. We will see word to word. विमुच्य रचनाबद्धं बालहत्या हतप्रभुं तेजसा मणिनाहीनं शिबिरान्निरयापयात्. We will see word to word meaning. Vimuchya, after releasing him. Rashana Baddham, from the bondage of ropes. Balahatya, infanticide. Hata Prabham, loss of bodily luster. Tejasa, of the strength of. Manina, by the jewel. Heenam, being deprived of. Shibirat, from the camp. Nirayapatya, drove him out. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. He, Ashwatthama, had already lost his bodily luster due to infanticide, and now, moreover, having lost the jewel from his head, he lost even more strength. Thus he was unbound and driven out of the camp. Please recite the translation in response. He, Ashwatthama, had already lost his bodily luster due to infanticide, and now, moreover, having lost the jewel from his head, he lost even more strength. Thus he was unbound and driven out of the camp. Purport. Very small purport. Thus being insulted, the humiliated Ashwatthama was simultaneously killed and not killed by the intelligence of Lord Krishna and Arjuna. We will see next verse, text 57. This is translation. Cutting the hair from his head, depriving him of his wealth, and driving him from his residence are the prescribed punishments for the relative of a Brahmana. There is no injunction for killing the body. Text 58. Thereafter, the sons of Pandu and Draupadi, overwhelmed with grief, performed the proper rituals for the dead bodies of their relatives. So thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport for the first canto, 7th chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled The Son of Drona Punished. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shrirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna. So first of all I seek blessings from all the devotees so that we can discuss from this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And in this current context, we are seeing that Arjuna is going through a very difficult phase of his, act. Even before that, before all this instance happened, Arjuna was in a dharma sankata. His mind was telling that not to fight this battle, but his guru was telling that fight this battle. So there was a battle inside him. Before the battle is outside him, there was a battle inside him. So he overcome both the battles. The battle which was inside him and the battle which was outside him. And he was victorious in both by the mercy of Krishna. Like Krishna says, Maya prasadat. By mercy you will overcome all the difficulties in your life. Right? So to overcome the difficulties in life, it is very easy that you just take shelter of Krishna and Krishna guides us. But even in this Bhagavad Gita, you will see that there were different instructions which were given to Arjuna. Like in the 3rd chapter beginning and in the 5th chapter beginning, Arjuna is asking Krishna that you have given equivocal instructions. You spoke about Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga. So it is difficult for me to reconcile what exactly you are telling. You told Karma Yoga, you told Dhyana Yoga, and you said Dhyana Yoga is better than Karma Yoga. Better is to do Dhyana Yoga, and then suddenly you tell me to fight. But fighting is, for me, it is Karma Yoga, it is not Dhyana Yoga. So please reconcile your instructions. What am I supposed to do? So then again Krishna goes ahead. Again Arjuna becomes bewildered. Again Krishna goes ahead. And what happens finally is Nashta Moha Smritir Labdva. Tvat Prasadat Mayachyuta. O Keshava, he addresses Krishna there as Achyuta, because you are infallible and anyone who follows your instruction is also infallible. Tvat Prasadat Mayachyuta. By your mercy, I am also coming to the platform of not getting bewildered, not falling down in my situation. So when there is equivocal instructions, and that equivocal instructions are again clarified by the person who has given that equivocal instructions, it becomes easy to go ahead. Shri Shri Radha Madhav Bhagwan ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Chandra Bhagwan ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So there lies the relationship between the spiritual master and the disciple, Arjuna and Krishna. So this relationship sometimes becomes very, very difficult following the orders of spiritual master, especially when there are too many factors involving this. In the battle of Kurukshetra, it was more or less clear for Arjuna that I have to fight. Krishna is not giving some, after a lengthy discussion of 18 chapters, Arjuna has clearly understood that, I have to fight. There is whatever doubts he had about whether should I fight or not, should I kill Bhishma or not, should I kill Dronacharya or not, all these things were clarified. And Arjuna, with a very clear mind, he fought the battle. Now for Arjuna here is little difficult situation because he had too many things to be taken care of. See, when the things come into the clear zone, like in the battle of Kurukshetra, anybody who is fighting, you can just kill him. If he is on the opposite side, he is ready to fight, ready to die. Kshatriya means ready to fight, ready to die. So on the battlefield, everyone is a Kshatriya. Whether Dronacharya was born of a Brahmana, acted like a guru, or whatever he is, at that moment he was acting as a Kshatriya. So Kshatriya means ready to fight, ready to die. So Arjuna was clear. Find out, go ahead and kill. And even you see at the end of the battle, even when Arjuna was given a little bit difficult instructions, like sometimes, or rather most of the time, the instructions of the Guru are a little bit difficult. It challenges our inner consciousness. What was the inner consciousness of Arjuna? That, oh, Karna is battling against me, and now he has some setback in terms of his chariot. So let me wait till he gets ready. And Krishna gives him little bit challenging instruction. Don't wait for him. He never took side of dharma. He never is a worthy Kshatriya. Just kill him. Like that Arjuna, like that Krishna also gave a little challenging instruction to Yudhishthira. He said that this Drona is not going to give up so easily. So you speak a lie, Ashwathama is dead. So that was little challenging for Yudhishthira. It was shaking his inner consciousness. How can I tell lie? Yudhishthira wanted that. He did not really wanted that he should be glorified for having always spoken truth, but it was his nature. He was not resorting to a secondary idea that I should be glorified, that I always speak truth. It is his nature that I always speak truth. How can I do something which is challenging to my inner consciousness of being truthful? But being truthful is a quality of a Brahmana. Kshatriyas sometimes tell lies in politics. Prabhupada tells that sometimes Vaishyas also tell lies for making business. For politics, even politicians tell lies. Like for example, you go to the best time you want to hear politicians speaking lies is during the time of elections. Right? So you can see all that. But however, for Yudhishthira it was difficult. How can I tell lie? Not just lie, it is like a personal benefit for us. Telling a lie to win over an enemy. Personal difficulties. So sometimes Krishna pushes his devotees to get into such state where he wants to see whether you will surrender to me or what will you do. So Krishna is a very expert tester. Right? Very expert tester. He tests. He is not to surrender to Krishna. Okay, yes, we tell initially when we are preaching, we tell it's all easy. We chant Hare Krishna, follow regulative principle. We seemingly make it easy. But as we walk that path, it becomes little difficult. Right? So Arjuna always tests that whether you're interested in me or you're interested in something else. So Krishna does that. So anyways, Arjuna was successful in battle of Kurukshetra. He shot arrows to Bhishma. Very difficult for him, right? To shoot arrows to Bhishma. The same person who gave him shelter, the same person whom he worshipped as if he is supreme God. He shot arrows. He told Dronacharya now, first was Bhishma, next was Drona. Bhishma, kill him. So he almost killed him. Although Bhishma, just like Ashwathama had another benediction, Bhishma had another benediction. Bhishma's benediction was, I will die only when I want. Imagine you are fighting with such a person and you are told that, you fight against such a person who has Ichha Mrityu. Bhishma will never die. So he shot arrows to Bhishma, and Bhishma was lying down there in one corner of battlefield. And then was Drona. He said, okay, Drona, you want me to kill? This is battle. In the battle you can kill. ready to fight, ready to die. Arjuna was also like that. Ready to fight, ready to die. I couldn't fulfill the promise that the next day Jayadratha will be killed. Ready to fight that day, at the end of the day, ready to die. That means the Kshatriya. So anyways, Arjuna was again protected by Krishna. So it is very difficult to be a disciple and a king, both together. Being a disciple, like for example, if the disciple is a very simple Brahmana, his only duty is told by the spiritual master is just do sadhana. You chant Hare Krishna, you read books, you eat little prasadam, just do that much. In one sense, it is easy. It might be difficult because of our mental situation and other things, but it's okay, fine. But to be a king also, to be a disciple also, and to deliver justice, is a very, very difficult job. So Arjuna was now brought into a situation where he has to deliver justice. And in the last time also we have seen there are various things influencing his act. One is Draupadi, one is Ashwathama being son of his guru, and the wife of his guru, Kripi, being rendered sonless. He being born as a Brahmana. Now that the battle is over, this instance is getting into place after the battle is over. Because in the battle you can kill. After the battle, again there are other set of rules that are applied. You have to be compassionate. That all these rules which Arjuna told to Krishna, that what about compassion, what about family relationship, right? All that is before the battle. Once you blow the conch shell, there are only two relationships. My party, enemy's party. After the conch shell is blown, my party or enemy's party. There it does not apply whether you are my brother, whether you are my relatives, whether I am your debtor, nothing. Only two relationships. My party means I should protect, opposite party means I should kill. So once the battle gets over, again you have all these factors of taking care of women, which Arjuna was worried in the beginning. Women will become shelterless. So all that calculations come after the battle of Kurukshetra. So Arjuna is again bewildered now, what to do. Wife is telling something, Krishna is telling something, according to dharma I have to do something else. And then last time we have seen how Yudhishthira takes side of Draupadi, and then Bhima takes a contradicting side. So now all that thing in his mind, in the purport or Prabhupada writes that he has to take a middle way. What was the exact words? Take a compromise between these two. If I am not wrong in the words of Prabhupada. I don't know what was the exact word. Anybody remembers seeing this? A compromise was sought out by Arjuna. So in the past we have seen when Arjuna was going through all these difficulties, Krishna started laughing, smiling, to see how this candidate will react. Like in the battle of Kurukshetra also, sometimes Krishna laughed, seeing how Arjuna is doing. So this laugh indicates that Krishna is happy to see that his disciple is struggling, to advance, whereas he is not able to decide. Like sometimes we see a small child, he just stands up, but after a moment again he falls down. Seeing that, we sometimes the father or other people see and laugh, "Arey, see, he is not doing that." So that kind of a laugh. Plus Krishna also has this role that I just don't have to say what is pleasing to Krishna, pleasing to Arjuna. Draupadi is also a very great devotee, right? In one of the great devotee women of Krishna, Kunti is counted, Draupadi is also counted. So now seeing that Draupadi has taken side, like in battle of Kurukshetra, what happens? It is very clear. Women don't interfere. The whole thing is kept aside. It's only battle of strength. Now Draupadi has came into the picture. So Krishna is also thinking that I have already told something Arjuna to do, and my great devotee Draupadi is telling something to do, and Yudhishthira taking side, Bhima taking side, and probably seeing all this situation, Nakula and Sahadeva thought that let us keep quiet. Already Arjuna is in great stress. If we end up telling something either contradicting or one side or other side, it may not be suitable. So at least it is not described what Nakula and Sahadeva had their opinion. But even if they had an opinion, it is Arjuna is being elder, he can just write off that. But he cannot say, Yudhishthira, I won't follow you. Bhima, I won't follow you. Not possible for Arjuna. So all the things, factors were taking place. And here, somehow Arjuna came to this compromise that Ashwathama's jewel and hair can be cut off. And he can be disowned. What all things he did? Driven out of the camp. And his jewel and hair were cut off. So if we know when Ashwathama was born, in the Bhagavatam at least there is no much description about Ashwathama's life before this incident. But it is believed that he was born with this jewel on his head. It was not like something he was wearing on a crown or something. It was, bedecked into his head. And because of that jewel, he was given protection from all kinds of enemies, all kinds of lower and higher species. Nobody will be able to harm him, like that. So he had such benediction, and it is believed that he got this benediction because he was a worshipper of Lord Shiva or something like that. Not very authoritative sources of this particular thing, but it is believed he was a worshipper of Shiva, and from Shiva he got this benediction of having a jewel on his head. And of course he had this benediction that he will live Chiranjeevi till the end of Kalpa. So when his jewel was taken away, his hair was cut off, and here the Bhagavatam says that by the very act of he killing the children, his luster had already gone away. So sometimes scriptures speak like that. The moment you commit sinful activity, even before you are punished for that, your glory is gone. Your glory is gone, not just by committing the sinful activity, and sometimes it is described that even of thinking of committing a sinful activity, your spiritual credits, your punya, and your way to heavenly planets is already destroyed by you even thinking to commit sinful activities. So all these things has already punished Ashwathama. So do not punish him more. So he took side of a softer side, compassionate side. Like Arjuna, how he was naturally, even before the battle of Kurukshetra. He had that compassion. Even if our relatives are aggressors, what is the point in punishing the aggressors? What is the point? Like for example, somebody is very heinous person, very dirty charactered person. Why should you go and fight him and give him punishment? Rejecting himself is also one kind of punishment. So Arjuna sought for this idea in the Bhagavad Gita before. If you remember, he says that aggressors are there, they are atatais, they are all sinful people. What glory I will get by fighting them and killing them? Just give it up. So he thought, Ashwathama, if I kill this Ashwathama, he is now standing in front of me, not ready to fight, in a very dayaniya situation. What glory will I get by killing him? So just remove his jewel, remove his hairs, and just let him go. Driven out. Driven out also means, what was the word here? What is the word here in the verse? Driven out of the camp. Shibira nirapyayat, nirayapayat, means driven out. So in this way, Arjuna took this decision that okay, let this happen. So for Kshatriyas to give justice is really very, very difficult task. In the past, we have seen this instance, and then there is another instance also, which we can relate, and we can have a little bit discussion, is about Pariksit Maharaj dealing with, what is his name? Kali. So Kali was also a kind of an Atatai. If you see, this will come in the future chapters, of course. And here Arjuna is going through this situation, and Pariksit also underwent that situation. His own next descendant, immediate descendant rather, although grandson, but he was thrown as a king when Pandavas retired. After these few chapters, we will see that Pandavas leave the kingdom, and they don't even wait for the entire ceremony of Pariksit being coronated as king. Generally, you will see that a king, when he is nominating the next king, he stays there for a while. He nominates the next king, he does the coronation ceremony, he gives him guideline. There is a proper handover. In our terms, we can use handover of the kingdom. And then after some time, then when he sees that he is operating nicely, he goes for Vanaprastha, sannyas, and he takes the path of moksha. All the great kings did like that. If you see, the kings of Ayodhya all followed this lineage. Even Dasharatha wanted to follow that. Wanted to coronate Ram, live for some time, and then go for the forest. But Pandavas did not do like that, because they knew that it is a starting of Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, even to become a king is not a good position. Like generally, king is a very good position. People respect him, people follow him. But even in Kali Yuga, to become king is also something wrong only. That's why in 12th canto, if you see, Bhagavatam says degraded dynasties of Kali Yuga. Prabhupada uses this title called degraded dynasties. Right? So who would like to be a king in Kali Yuga? He also should be a sinful person only. Right? So what is the great in establishing another king who will rule in the terms of Kali Yuga? So all the Pandavas said, get hell away of it. We are just leaving. But still, it is described that Pariksit Maharaj was so strong that even though Kali Yuga had manifest, right? Kali had manifest. It is described in Bhagavatam that the moment Krishna disappeared, Kali manifested. So that is the same thing. The moment we become, sometimes Prabhupada used the word Krishna unconscious. The moment we are not Krishna conscious, immediately what will happen? We become Kali conscious. Kali Yuga manifests in our heart. So still it could not enter and do whatever Kali Yuga wanted to do till the time Pariksit was there. So Kali used to reside on the outskirts of the Parikshit's kingdom, not entering the city where people are living. So somehow it used to catch the cows and bulls which were outside the reign of protection, and he used to torture them. So that is the initial sign of Kali Yuga, is that torture innocent living beings. This is the way Kali tries to enter this thing. And the moment these things become official, that means you surrender to Kali. Kali dances on your head and dictates you how you can do sinful activities. However, Pariksit on his way, he encountered Kali, and he saw that there was a bull and there was a cow being very severely, harmed by this Kali, Shudra Kali. And when he saw, he immediately took bow and arrow. He was about to kill Kali. But there is a conversation. Before Pariksit Maharaj shoots that arrow, Kali immediately goes and surrenders. Very, very dubious. The Kali's nature is very, very dubious. It acts something, it speaks something, it actually wants to do something else. Very, very dubious Kali. So, such people who are Kali re Chela are very, very difficult to deal. You cannot punish them, you cannot catch them by neck, because they will have some excuse or the other. Even these days you will see that when the laws of this own country, they catch a particular person who is alleged to be an unrighteous person, then he has the various means how to get out of that situation. Even though it is proven that he is irreligious, he has various ways of how to escape and make their way out. Even today you will see that somebody is charged with corruption charges. He has various means. He will say that this money does not belong to me. He will say that, I have been wrongly questioned. My character is being doubted. I am doing what is right. All these various things are all Kali's various flavors. So Kali thought that, now I will surrender. But the moment he is out, very soon I will throw him out. Kali Yuga is thinking that Pariksit Maharaj is king now, but very soon through my own influence, I will throw him out. So sometimes some scriptures say that because Kali Yuga was given shelter by Pariksit, Pariksit did that small mistake of garlanding the rishi with that snake. And very soon he was out of picture. See, he gave shelter to Kali. Kali, with his own influence, threw him out. So to be a king is very difficult, like that. So what happens? Pariksit Maharaj sees the whole situation. He sees that bull is being punished. Bull's legs are being killed. Only one leg, he is standing in a wobbling situation. So that is how dharma is in Kali Yuga. Wobbling situation. Nobody is ready to stand strong with dharma. So when Pariksit Maharaj saw that situation and Pariksit Maharaj surrendered, Pariksit Maharaj thought that I should punish him. But before punishing, he thought that let me ask the victim what a rightful punishment is there. And the victim also kind of differed in a very intelligent way by telling that maybe this Kali is not the real cause of my suffering. Because in Kali Yuga also the kind of living entities are born, they are themselves also born with sinful tendencies. And Kali Yuga only what it does is enhances it. Kali Yuga what it does? Enhances. So of course it is both mistake of the victim also. A victim, if he does not clearly tell that my reason for the cause is this and this particular person has to be punished, then also it is a mistake. To do irreligious activity is also sinful, and to accept the irreligious activity on ourselves is also mistake. So it is very difficult situation. In Hindi it is called अत्याचार करना भी गलत है, अत्याचार सहना भी गलत है. So Mother Earth and Bull, they decided that we will bear this punishment given by Kali. We think that this is our own past karma, and that is fine. So when the person who is supposed to deliver justice, Pariksit was standing in front. The person who will give justice now, the Dharmic king, he is standing. They took a little softer stand. The Dharma and Mother Earth, Bull, they both took little softer stand. Just like Draupadi also took little softer stand. It's okay, no problem. So Pariksit was not impelled that he has to give death punishment. He was not impelled to give death punishment. And now that he has surrendered, Kali very intelligently asked that if you do not give me a place to stay, again I will do all these mischievous things somewhere or other. So again you will have to come, again the same things repeats. So better you give me some place. Very, very intelligent. Better you give me some place. So Pariksit says, okay, fine, you have sought for shelter. Pariksit also wanted to be very intelligent. He says, okay, wherever these 4 sinful activities are happening, meat eating, illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, you go and reside there. Kali Yuga said, fine, very good, thank you for giving me this place, but where is such a place? Although I have manifested, these are my prime activities, but till the time you are the king, I can't do all these things. Just imagine, slaughtering of animals was not at all possible, because the king used to have spies. Anybody used to do any irreligious activities, he can never think that I will get away with it. That is a strong king. So then he said, give me some other place. Okay, you gave me this 4 places, some other place where I can, get stayed. So Pariksit gave him a place. You stay at a place where there is excessive gold or money hoarded for sense gratification, money hoarded in an illegal way. There you can stay. So immediately after that, Pariksit again ordered all his citizens that anybody who is hoarding money, please come and deposit in the treasury or use it for performing yagyas. And those people who did not abide by that order of Pariksit, slowly Kali Yuga entered. So this is what happens sometimes when we take a softer stand on giving punishment. So Arjuna went through very difficult situation. Same thing Pariksit also went through difficult situation. So to be a dharmic king is always a very, very difficult situation. Because there are so many angles of vision. That's why Bhagavatam also says to exactly ascertain what is dharma is very difficult. So you have to follow Mahajanas and understand from them. So for Pariksit Maharaj also it was difficulty, Arjuna also difficulty, and anyone in general who tries to be an administrator, it's always a difficulty. Because there are different classes of people, they will have their own way of what dharma should be and what king should do. And there will be other class of people similarly contradicting to the other one. So what I thought for today's discussion is few concluding lessons from this instance is it's always difficult to be righteous king, especially in Kali Yuga. Especially in Kali Yuga it is not possible. There are no dharmic kings in fact. It is softer way of telling that it is difficult. The truth way of speaking is there are no dharmic kings. Next thing is that while administrating justice, to taking little softer stand will eventually give another pain. We saw the examples of Ashwathama, we saw the example of Pariksit. This is one more lesson that we can learn. And another lesson is that never misuse the strength that has been given to you. Ashwathama, thinking that this jewel is on my head, no enemy can become victorious on me. He was all becoming mischievous. But the same people whom we think that we are ours, we will see that when Ashwathama was rejected by Pandavas, even at the same, after that you will see even, of course Kauravas died, but nobody was in his side. He had to live life in a dejected way. So never misuse the strength because the very purpose why you are misusing the strength, that may not last with you. So these are few things which we can learn from the lives of Pandavas, from the lives of Pariksit. And of course Bhagavatam always glorifies those people who surrender to Krishna, those who take shelter. So although in one sense Arjuna's stand was little softer, Bhagavatam still glorifies him, saying that this is as good as death. Prabhupada uses this word, is killing and not killing simultaneously. And by intelligence, this is all happened by intelligence of Krishna and Arjuna. So we should equip ourselves with this intelligence, knowledge which Bhagavatam gives us, so that we can lead a life which Krishna really wants us to be like. Although there will be difficulties, there will be very critical situations in our life, we still will go ahead and have a wonderful Krishna conscious life. You will never see in the history Even the Bhagavatam, that a devotee's life is like, straight bar, peaceful, no ups and downs. It will never happen. It will always be critical situations, happy situations, always be like that. So the material world is only like that. So we have to learn across to swim in those situations, not sink into situation. Swim with that situation. Okay? So thank you all very much for giving me this opportunity for discussing this Bhagavatam. Anybody has any questions or any comments, they can please do so. Anyway, yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. It will take some time to give, yeah. Hmm. 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 How the movement will go on if there is opposition by the leaders of the society? Okay. I mean, I may not be very so scripturally, renowned to give this example. See, just like Kali slowly entered, captured, propagated itself, right? Krishna consciousness also can do like that. Like Krishna consciousness also, so to say, slowly entered United States of America, Russia, all these places slowly only entered, but slowly it is growing. So the way Kali Yuga is there, the devotees are more intelligent than Kali Yuga, right? The devotees also go into various different schemes and they expand. So we just have to act as much as a part of Krishna's plan. So Krishna has his plan how 10,000 years he should go. And in one section, I remembered is Prahlad Maharaj section when Hiranyakashipu told that nobody should come and preach Prahlad Maharaj in a, deceitful manner. Nobody should, that section comes. So there Prabhupada writes that Krishna conscious preachers can also go into places in a very, deceitful way and preach. This Bhakti Shakti will take care of how we go in, even if the administrators are against us. Russia is evident. Russia was communist. Communist means if you speak about God, you will see the hell. He will just kill you. But now Russia is flourishing in preaching. So one day it will happen. China also will go into this. All Bhakti Shakti that will be more intelligent than Kali. In the span of 10,000 years, we should do our part of preaching. Right? Is it okay? Thank you. Any more questions? Yeah? Hmm? 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 See, Prabhupada's movement, you will see that there are always people who are strongly speaking for what Prabhupada wanted, and they preach very, sparkingly clean. So you will see that kind of also people, you will see other classes of people also. Because we cannot have everything go straight and straight. Because in Varnashram Dharma you will see there are different class of people with different interests. So definitely there will be pure personalities who will attract souls to Krishna consciousness. But there will be other people who may not be so sparkingly, clear. So it is always a debated topic. Always a debated topic. But the whole idea is, the preachers of Krishna consciousness will always be there till the time this span of 10,000 years. You will have to find them. They are also manifest. They are very clearly visible within this movement, even outside the so-called legalized movement of ISKCON. There are other preachers also. The whole idea is that there will be always the people who will uphold dharma, at least try to uphold dharma. Because as I mentioned in Kali Yuga, the moment you try to uphold dharma, dharma also sometimes slips back. Like Pariksit wanted to uphold dharma, dharma himself slipped back, saying that I don't know what is right. So it will always be there. But if you are sincere, you will find out the path. That is what is my understanding. Yeah. Okay. So we can conclude here. Thank you very much. Granth Raj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.